Let's embark on a journey to build a regular expression, also known as Regex Validator tool. We'll be crafting a simple application from scratch that allows us to test regular expressions. By the end of this project, you will have a tool that does pattern testing. You'll be able to test regular expression patterns against sample text in real time, seeing if your pattern correctly identifies the parts of the text you expect it to. The tool will also have match highlighting, giving you visual feedback with highlighted matches and results, making it easy to see what parts of your text match the regular expression. Here's how we'll structure our project. We'll have a root folder named Regex Validator. Inside, we'll have 3 files: index.html, which will contain the structure of our web page, style.css, where we'll define the styles to make our tool look good, and script.js, which will hold the JavaScript code that makes our tool interactive and functional. We are using HTML5 for structuring the content, CSS3 for styling, and JavaScript for adding interactivity. Let's examine the basic structure of our index.html file. Inside the div element with the class named container, we have a heading 1 element that says Regex Validator. Then we have an input field, where users can type in their regular expression. The input field has the type text and an ID of regex, with a placeholder text that says Enter Regex pattern. Next up, we have a text area, where the users can provide the text to be tested against the regular expression. This text area has the ID text and a placeholder that says Enter test text. Finally, we have a div element with the ID results, which will be used to display the output of our regular expression matches. Here are some basic CSS styles we'll use in the style.css file. The container class will have a maximum width of 800 pixels. It will be centered using margin 0 auto, and it will have a padding of 20 pixels. The input and text area elements will both have a width of 100% to fill their container, padding of 15 pixels for some spacing, and a border radius of 8 pixels to round the corners. Let's dive into the basic JavaScript setup in the script.js file. First, we're getting references to the HTML elements we'll be interacting with. We're using document.getElementById to get the input field with the ID of regex, the text area with the ID of text, and the div element with the ID of results. These are stored in the regex input, text input, and results variables respectively. Next, we're adding event listeners to the regex input and text input elements. These listeners will call the validateRegex function whenever the user types something into these fields. This way, we can perform real-time validation as the user enters the regular expression and text. The core of our tool is the validateRegex function. Inside this function, we first get the current values from the regex input and text input fields and store them in the pattern and text variables. Next, we use a try catch block to handle any potential errors. Within the try block, we create a new regular expression object using the regexp constructor, passing in the pattern and the g flag for global matching. Then we use the match method of the text string to find all the matches of the regular expression. Finally, we call the displayResults function, passing in the matches. If any error occurs during this process, such as an invalid regular expression, the catch block will call the displayError function, passing in the error message. Now let's look at the displayResults function. This function takes the matches found by the regular expression and displays them in the results div. If matches were found, which we check using an if statement, it first sets the inner HTML of the results div to indicate how many matches were found. Then it loops through each match using the forEach method and appends a new div element to the results div for each match, showing the index and the match text. If no matches were found, it sets the inner HTML of the results div to no matches found. The displayError function is responsible for showing error messages to the user when an invalid regular expression is entered. It takes a message parameter, which contains the error message to display. It sets the inner HTML of the results div to an HTML structure, which includes a div element with the class error and the error message inside it. Here are some common regular expression errors. Unclosed brackets like open square bracket -z, invalid escape characters like \k, and bad quantifiers like *+. Now that we have a working regular expression validator tool, let's talk about testing and enhancements. Here are some regular expression patterns you can test with the tool. Email validation, phone numbers, URL matching, and date formats. Here are some enhancement ideas that can take this project to the next level. Add syntax highlighting to the regular expression input. Highlight the match text within the input text area. Add the ability to specify regular expression flags like global, case-insensitive, and multiline, and the ability to save regular expressions for later use. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit CodeLucky.com for more such useful content.